What is going on, everybody? It's been a minute, but I'm back, and I'm going to be steady and consistent. Promise. I had to take a vacation. I had to take some time off. Some things happened in my life. I needed to handle. Today we're going to talk about nostalgia. We're going to talk about how it can produce positive and negative things, but always powerful things. This new me is going to be more outspoken. I'm not worried so much about social politics within the fandom anymore. That's just what it is. And understand that a lot of that positivity, the positivity that changed me and changed this channel and gave me the outlook that I have, came from nostalgia. Came from nostalgia for a group of people who inspired me. All of them in different ways. Group of people called themselves the Fandom Menace about a year and a half ago, and it's been going on ever since. Maybe a little more than that. These people are inspired me to be better. They gave me a home, gave me escapism when my favorite franchises were telling me that I was a piece of garbage. And I couldn't understand why, because the nostalgia that I had for them was so powerful that it got me through many red flags and warning signs of what lay ahead. The nostalgia that I have for these people who are calling out these entertainments had me become a part of basically the ground floor of a community that came after. You know, Hail to Mariam and KOTOR, big part of that. And that's my crew. Those are my people, right? Even though we may not talk all the time and we may not chill and be on live streams all the time, those are my people. Now, I love the nostalgia that I have for the first wave, the first Fandom Menacers. I love that nostalgia that I have for them, the inspiration that they gave me. Some of them befriended me, gave me shout outs, helped me out along the way. One of them even got me up over 1,000 subscribers so that I could be monetized. Hail, Lord Doomcock. But that's not my crew. Even though some of them have become my friends and stood by me and helped me out, that's not my crew. That's not my crew. My crew are the ones that came after. My crew is the Fourth and Rogue Entertainment. That's my crew. The nostalgia for them was a very powerful thing. I recently learned this lesson about nostalgia from something that happened in my life over the last several weeks. So there's a guy that I've known since I was 13 years old. Right? We've fought over and over again. We've had issues. Friendships have issues since the early days. But there came a time later on in our teens and early 20s when he just started talking trash on me when I wasn't around. And he started being manipulative and tried to make me look bad. But to my face was good all the time. Was always straight with me, well, into my face. This is my boy. Would back me up like I backed him up. The nostalgia of knowing someone since I was 13, a person that I once considered my oldest living friend, meant a lot to me. And I've ignored over the years, over and over again, I've ignored obvious examples of me catching him talking trash, trying to set me up. And I didn't talk, and there are times when I didn't talk to him for years, but when I saw him again, that nostalgia kicked in. And that was my boy. Like, I've known this dude since I was 13. This is my homie. We've been through a lot. Surely he's grown up enough that he ain't going to pull that crap anymore. And then I get disappointed again, and again, and again, to the point to where the last time that I saw him, was the last time that I ever cared to see him. Didn't care. No more. It was just like, all right, this dude's never going to grow. He's never going to progress. He's never going to better himself. He's always going to be hateful and fearful inside, and he's never, ever going to live to his full potential or make that attempt. And then I seen him again recently. And you know what I did? I've known this dude since I was 13. Surely he's learned, been through enough, been beaten down enough, surely he has changed his outlook and understands that I'm a friend. I even apologized to something that I did when I was like 24. One of the times that I actually was disrespectful, and I feel as though I was disrespectful to him. I even did that. Something that was in his crawl for a long time. Used as an excuse to hate me for a long time. But I thought that'd be enough. Turns out it's not. Turns out it's not. And this dude still talks trash, hates me to the point to where I'm hanging out with somebody, a few people, but somebody in particular that he has this weird attachment to, and it's like making him throw up and shit. What kind of stuff is that? Nostalgia, that's a negative. That's a negative experience with nostalgia. I don't have that no more. Understand that your Fandom Menace historian has changed. I have a new outlook on things. This channel is going to have a bit of a different tone. I have, for the past 2 years, strived to live in the light, strived to be a better person, to progress. For the last several years before that, to be honest, I've been on this road for like 5 to be a better dad, a better parent to my son. I recognized that I did not want to pass on the sins of the past. I recognized that I did not want to pass on pain, bad experiences, and bad traits, so I decided to be a better father. Make that active choice, and for several years I've been on that path, and it took some people whom I have a level of nostalgia with, who I have a level of nostalgia about, that helped to be examples to me and helped me push forward and continue on being a positive person. And what happened helped to build an amazing community of people helping one another and rising together. This is what I've been doing. Over the last 2 months, I've gone through experiences in my personal life that have led me to understanding that being a positive person all the time is wonderful. Getting behind a community or an idea with a selfless perspective is great, but there are times when being selfless is damaging to oneself. There are times where you have to be selfish. And so your Fandom Menace historian has found a certain balance between the two. And I'm going to be calling people out. I can't let nostalgia rule me anymore. So from now on, I'm going to be a little bit more honest. I don't care about social politics. So if I see anybody acting like a little bit, I'm going to call them out. It's what it is. I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm going to do what I need to do. So I apologize if that's a little jarring for anyone. Nostalgia has kept a lot of us connected to these franchises. Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who. Sorry for you Whovians out there. I'm a big fan of Gary. I see the pain that he's living through. I see the pain that he's going through. So, canceled Disney Plus is trending. After... my gods. So last night the Wrap comes out with Gina Carano dropped from The Mandalorian after abhorrent social media posts. This whole thing has been a little fishy to me. Because according to The Wrap, which is where all this started, thanks to Jane Theory finding that out, hail and subscribe to Jane Theory, link in the description below. The Wrap only cites a Lucasfilm spokesperson in a statement to The Wrap. That's all we've gotten so far. No statement out of Lucasfilm. So what's going on at Disney? I don't know. But they're not denying it either. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there's no plans for her to be in the future. I'm sure you've all watched 1,000 videos on this, so yeah, this is what's going on. Thankfully, according to Christie, found a screenshot of this Instagram post, tweet, something that Gina put out. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where the Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them for simply being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? This is the exact attitude that people have been dealing with for years now, for almost a decade now. You've had this segment of toxic assholes on the internet who have gone after others, called them Nazis, while acting as fascists. Like, there's nothing even wrong with this statement. I've heard some people that I respect, say that this was out in poor taste. No, I think this is exactly what the answer to an accusation that has been happening for near a decade about others with no respect whatsoever to the Jewish population, because who cares what the Jews think, right? Who cares what their feelings are about when you got your hashtag punch a Nazi running around? Who cares what they think? Who cares how they feel? People that lived through it or had family members that lived through it or understood what was going on. So much stupidity in the world. Gina was making a good point. She is making a good point. This is what we've been dealing with. This is why people like Comicsgate, Fandom Menace exist. This is why anti-SJW groups or people, Facebook, whatever's, this is why they exist. Because that's exactly what they have been doing, trying to change the fabric of culture, using our modern mythologies, using politics, using social pressure and social media, their allies in Silicon Valley and Hollywood and New York and every other liberal stronghold. Now, mind you, conservatives have done this in the past. Not to this scale. They didn't have all of these options available, but they've done it in their own way. You know, like I'm not conservative. I'm not Republican. Because look, what are they doing? Are they standing up? No, they're capitulating. They've bent the knee. I don't even understand the Republicans right now. Are there any left? And it has been the far left, pointing the finger at others, calling them Nazis, acting like Nazis and fascists, promoting fascism while saying they're anti-fascist. This is the truth of what has been happening for years. For years. This is why I am doing what I do. That's why I have a YouTube channel. It's why I'm writing the Fandom Menace volumes. That's why I'm speaking out exactly against this kind of attitude. Gina didn't say nothing wrong. Really. She made an assessment based on the actions that we have seen unfold in the media, social media, in Hollywood, in institutions of power for the last several years. We all see how the media spins a narrative and what it has done. They even politicized a freaking virus. They even politicized that, like something that we all should have been like, all right, let's do what we got to do real quick, get this done, put it behind us. But they politicized that, destroyed lives. This is more than just one person speaking out. I mean, this is a whole group of people speaking out. And Gina came and talked to the people, to the best of us. Came and talked to the best of us. You know who he is. And it's still, they were so upset there at Disney Lucasfilm. This is some craziness. Look at this. So this is a tweet from at Queen Kwan, KWAN 93, friend of mine. Here, let me get you a follow. And says, like Disney allows this, right? Go streaming, right? We all remember that one. And this Christina Ariella, along with all the other racist and terrible sexists working at Disney Lucasfilm, these terrible, awful people, the lowest common denominator of intellect in our society, those who are just straight hateful, creating division, not caring, proof positive that Disney Lucasfilm is a platform for divisive rhetoric, hate-filled propaganda. She's allowed to be as hateful and racist as she wants, just like Leslie Headland and every other works at Disney Lucasfilm. So I understand when certain people in our community feel the need to virtue signal, if you will, that they were right the whole time, and then ask questions if someone like myself, who carries the Fandom Menace hashtag, will sign right back up to Disney Plus if I get another CGI Luke, or ask us if we're going to forget this and bend the knee. That's another problem we've had in our community as far as I can see. People who either were TFM or adjacent or whatever you want to call yourself, feeling mighty and high because some people had an emotional reaction to Luke Skywalker, or the CGI Luke Skywalker on The Mandalorian a couple months ago. Feeling high and mighty. They were very offended. Their fifis were hurt. A lot of man fees were hurt. And I've watched these people whom in the past I have respected, who have either stopped communicating to me in private DMs or just have had this kind of cold attitude to me, and other people who had a positive moment, who dared to defy their narrative, their man fees, while they're going through their menstruations, their elitism, that others who do not capitulate to their way of thinking are somehow lesser than they. That's exactly what we've been fighting for years. It's exactly the kind of rhetoric that Christina Ariella would put out. Stop thinking y'all's is high and mighty, and I will be calling you out in the future if I see you acting a fool. Bitch is gonna bitch. I understand that. If you're bleeding, if you're having a heavy flow, just understand that I'll let you know. It's exactly what we have been fighting against. I do not kneel. I'm an individual. I carry a hashtag, I'm an individual with my own thoughts and feelings. I am an individual with my own perspectives, opinions, thoughts, and feelings. I am not your lapdog. I go here and I check out Princess Kick-Ass Geeky Sparkles from Clownfish TV. I've been a big fan of Clownfish TV for a long time. Glad to see the success that they've been getting. And she says people saying that there are consequences for saying stuff. No, there are consequences for some people for saying stuff. That's the issue. If it was consistent, I would agree. It's not. And it's not consistent. It's all about one narrative. You've got to present one narrative. And if you don't support that narrative, then you have wrong think, wrong speech. If you do not accept the way that these elitists believe themselves, that they believe themselves to be better than you while espousing just division and condescending hate. That's what we've been calling out. That's why we've been calling out. So when I see people within our own community acting that way, that's why I'm going to call them out. Because y'all are acting a damn fool. I'm going to call anybody out that's acting a damn fool. It's not about there being a standard, a universal standard for all. It's about presenting a narrative, a story. It may not be factually true, but it is from the perspective of the person in power, the hateful, the person wielding their power to shame others into capitulation. Hail Geeky Sparkles and Clownfish TV. So now it's being reported from Hollywood Insight, whatever the they are. The Mandalorian Star Gina Carano fired amid social media controversy, and that the UTA has also dropped the actor who will no longer be part of the Star Wars galaxy. So apparently now it's reported that her agents have fired her or released her or whatever. If this is true, because I'm not sure it is right now. I haven't gotten an official statement out of Disney. If this is true, what's changed? I would not suggest anyone keep their Disney Plus. I wouldn't, really. What's the use of it? Anything that you need to see from Disney Plus, there's other ways of going about that. This is also not a vindication for anyone who has been so butthurt by Disney Star Wars that they have to shame others for being engaged at all. It's not a validation of them. Haters is going to hate. What it is a confirmation of is it's business as usual at Disney Lucasfilm. It's business as usual. That's a hateful culture, poisonous company culture there. Honestly, it takes away from the whole Disney Lucasfilm Civil War narrative, if this be true. It really does. It takes away from any hope of that being the case. At this point in time, I'm going to wait and see what unfolds, see what Disney says or does. I'm going to wait for any information coming out from a credible source because I don't trust garbage tier media. I think they might just be playing us all against one another to create buzz that becomes a reality. Gina Carano is one of the best things that they had. It was an actor and a character that people who did not even want to have any interest in The Mandalorian or anything Disney Star Wars were getting behind. So to fire her, if this be the case, is Disney cutting off their nose to spite their face. It's also giving in to, again, the worst people in our society, propagandists in the garbage tier media and on social media, like the absolute worst people that you want to cater to. These are not, they make things trend, and that's it. That's it. They don't give you money. They don't give you any kind of fame or popularity. Disney, Lucasfilm, any Disney, Marvel at this point, cancel Disney Plus means all of it. All of it. So, yeah, I'm going to see what happens. And I'll move forward from there. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, and I suffer no fools. Be good to each other. Peace.